where I come from, we are very careful how we name children. You know, this Chinese company, TikTok, the owners of TikTok, they are called ByteDance. You know, that in itself tells you there's something to be worried about. Maybe one needs to check more. Waziri, there's something about Chinese that every person, every country in the world wants to be careful about. And this is all about security. The Chinese are very fast in everything that they do. I think they have, if people are fair, we can say they have really overtaken even the US and other big economies. Yet the Chinese laws have compelled this company to submit data before any processing, before it goes anywhere out there. In fact, these ByteDance people, they have challenges operating in China because of the rules that are there. The concerns of this country, and as I said, many other countries, is about their security, national security concerns over potential access to data by this Chinese company. I am not saying that Kenya doesn't have any serious data that we want to protect, but I think we do. And in the process of doing that, and I think that is why the US is very particular about this, and other countries also. So, Chair, Waziri, sorry, the petitioner has raised many concerns, and specifically around this area. Through engagement of TikTok in Kenya, and we know that everyone, almost everyone, is in this TikTok, one way or another. People who hold critical government information in their phones, could it pose a danger? And if it could, what then are we doing about that? Because that is the genesis around it. That if we have a senior government officer, for example, who is in TikTok, or their children are in TikTok, and they're innocently engaging, could this TikTok, as I said, they're called ByteDance. They dance away with our information. The US, with the 52 nations, are they? There are 52 states. 34 of them have prohibited their senior government officers from using this app on government devices. I don't know what we are doing about this ourselves. I don't know if we have, do we have a policy? Is our government requiring? And I'm very careful. I've now learned today that there's a difference between requiring and requesting. Has our government requested, no, required, a senior government officers, Waziri, around this matter? Because then if it's a risk, then it is an overall risk. Thank you.
Chair, I agree with you. The question you pose defies a simple answer. It's a complex matter there, and the balances. You have given the example of the Chinese authorities and how they control, and there's a little matter that this app could have originated from there, and then but still they are requiring a lot of control around it, and I don't see any contradiction there, because you can create something that brings problems, and it doesn't mean if you create something and then it brings unintended consequences, you don't control it. Could be a honest scientific and technological mistake. It has happened in many other places where a laboratory experiment has gone haywire, and what you do as a honest and responsible government of any country is that you still have to deal with those consequences before they harm the population, notwithstanding that you are the creator of that technology. I don't see any contradiction there. But I agree with you, Chair, that, for example, in that country, they have stricter controls, even on other platforms like WhatsApp and so forth and so on. And thirdly, the issue you raise about policy on who and how do we allow that platform to be used is a valid question, which right now is active before the National Security Council. As you are aware, our ministry in Interior coordinates the cyber security program of the country under the NC4 arrangement, that is the Cybercrime and Security Coordination Committee, which brings together Ministry of Defense, ourselves first, and when I say ourselves, it's the police and NIS, and then defense, and then ICT people to be able to guard our cyberspace. This matter is so complex and so consequential that, and remember, Chair, as I started by placing this problem in the fourth industrial revolution, deliberately, just to show how complicated and how it's not easy for us to just look one way and say, let's decide this. Now, traditionally, national security has been viewed as operating within three spaces: the land, that is all the territory within the borders of the country; the sea, for those countries that are coastal; and the airspace of the country. That is the traditional way of national security. And if you look, for example, at defense arrangements for Kenya and defense arrangements for the world, you have the army to protect the land. You have the Air Force to protect the airspace of the country, and the Navy to protect the shoreline for any risks emanating through the sea. Today, a fourth space called the cyberspace is the theater of risk. And therefore, going forward, we should invest in internal security and defense arrangements that creates a fourth defense tier. Maybe not as part of the military, but we need both military and internal security expertise and technology people to provide the fourth arm of our country's defense. And that is the arm that will defend our cyberspace. The potential of that space to hurt the country is big, but as I've said again, the potential and the potential and the irreversibility of the cyberspace and its contribution to our national development going forward is again undeniable. So as you process this petition, I want to invite you with a lot of humility, not only to look at the quick fixes of what we need to do and seal whatever loopholes exist at the moment, but have a long-term, comprehensive, and wholesome look at things and help the country beyond banning or not banning TikTok, so that we have a cyber security solution, because the threat is real and big, the opportunities, potential, and irreversibility is also real And that's all I can say for now. We will be keenly waiting to hear what this committee will be recommending, and I'll be more than happy to come and engage again and get the assurance from me and my colleagues in the Interior Ministry. Cyber security and technology, ICT technology threats are as big a priority as our other priorities on the defense of our land and also our borders, even as we collaborate with our brothers in the Ministry of Defense. I submit.